Hi, exeter-rider here. Welcome back to the channel. This week I am test riding the Keeway 125Rkr. Instant thoughts on this RKR is how slick it is actually. Everything's so positive on it. The gearbox is incredible. Really, it's as per normal. I wasn't expecting anything from this bike. Also quite impressed with the mirrors actually. They're a lovely height, where you can just flick your eyes to the left or the right and you know exactly what's going on. You can probably see there actually in the camera how much I can see behind me. And again, I can go straight into neutral now and straight in there. Really good, that. Really good. It literally clunks into place. You're not kind of fiddling between two gears. What's he doing? He don't know whether to go or not, does he? The handlebars are a nice width apart actually. It's not like your sports bike ones where they, like the calf races for example, where some of them are really tight together. Right, so what's it like on faster roads then? There's your national speed limit sign. So I can take it up to speed now. See what she's got. Get a tuck in. .63. I think we're going to pin around the 63 miles an hour mark, which is quite normal for a 125. And doing 63, it actually feels a lot slower actually. I mean that's pretty impressive really. That's pretty good. I'm hardly getting any vibrations. Just a little bit on the tank really, more than anything. I'm getting nothing through the pegs. Need to bear in mind that this bike hasn't been out for a little while now because it's been sat in the shop, so the vibrations will get even better over time. But as a commuter, what else do you want? About it, I mean, like this trip here, I mean, you know that you're hardly using any fuel at all. I mean, if you put £4 in one of these bikes, then you're normally good for 100 miles. So they are incredibly cheap to fuel up and use like that. To tax, they're only £20 in the UK. As you can probably tell, I'm quite enjoying it. Quite enjoying it. I am enjoying it a lot. It's lovely. Takes a bit of getting used to with the cornering because I'm used to a bigger bike, but it corners very well actually. They got the gyroscopics just right on the steering, so when you do tip it in, it falls in quite nicely. You're not pulling it back. I've recently ridden the CB125R and I do find that is, although a fantastic bike, it is a little bit light. It's a bit too light down the bottom. And because of these, the wheels are kind of smallish, or you know, I think they're smaller than this one. And a bit wider as well, a bigger tread pattern on it. It tends to it's a bit more wallowy, I think is the word. Whereas this feels a bit more planted. It's been a really pleasant ride. As I say, for a 125 you can really fling this thing around as well. It can be a very, very fun bike. For somebody who's been driving all their life and in later years, and you want to get into biking, then this is a very good choice. This bike, I mean, all 125s are, to be fair. They all pretty much kind of do the same thing, really. But don't think to yourself, oh, what's the point? You know, I've been driving for years, and if you want to get into biking, then do it. I can assure you, it's one of the best things you can do. It really is a fantastic sport. Yeah, so if you're somebody who's been driving cars all their life and want to try biking, and you like this style of bike, like I say, bearing in mind you are later in life, just buy one of these. You know, I mean, it's £2.5 grand, 2,600. But what you're going to benefit from getting into biking is far going to outweigh all those thoughts that you've got in your head of what happens if, you know, is it worth it, and what if I don't like it and all that. Try it, you're going to like it. That's one thing I can guarantee you. And what's it cost? I mean, it doesn't cost nothing, does it? It's £20 a year for tax. And yeah, £20 a year tax. Insurance is dirt cheap. I think for me on a 125, I think it's about £100 a year. Get your butt out of your car and get it on a bike. Even if it only comes out every now and then, once a month, or even in summer. You know, it's such a nice hobby. Okay, so this is the walk round for the Keeway 125Rkr. So overall, the bike has come to no surprise actually. It's been a nice ride, nice and smooth. The suspension is nicely set up on the back and the front. It's nice and tight, so basically when you go around the corner it doesn't wallow too much. It gives you loads and loads of feedback, which is exactly what you want on this style 125. Walking around the bike, one of the things that I like is this exhaust here. A lot of these bikes these days are coming out with the little exhaust that comes out the bottom. I personally, I much prefer something a bit chunky on the back end, mainly because when you look at the back end on other bikes, it tends to be it looks a bit empty. You know, it lends itself to having an exhaust like this on the back of bikes. I think I still like the old-fashioned way of doing it. What else is there to say? So we've got the nice styling on the front. We've got the indicators here, which are LED. We've got the daytime running light on the front, and a nice set of headlights on the front as well, which are halogen bulbs. So with this type of bike, you're going to be able to fill it up. It's going to be ever so cheap to run. It's going to be a nice bike to look at in the garage or parked up wherever you store your bike. It's going to be nice to look out on it and keep it clean at the weekends. It's a smart looking bike. You've got to give it that. It's, you know, for looks wise, I don't think you can get much better than this for this style bike. Looks really, really good. Pillion wise, obviously most of the time people aren't going to be carrying a pillion on this type of bike. It's generally learners that are going to be riding it, but if you did have a pillion on the back, then it's quite a thick foam seat that's on the back there, so it should be okay, should be fine. Obviously there's going to be a big drop in power, but with it being 125, it's fine just as a single seater, but as a two-seater, the drop in power is going to be quite considerable. So I would say that you probably just want to stick to one main rider, and that's it really. Okay, so on the dash we've got the time, the fuel gauge, the mileage. This one's only done 913 miles, so it's relatively new. We've got the speedo there as well, and the engine temperature. Also the big analog rev counter and the lights here, warning lights, neutral, full beam, low beam, etc. Okay, so on the right hand handlebar we've got the kill switch, hazards and start button, and on the left hand bar we've got the horn, indicators, high beam, low beam and a pass light as well. I'm 5'8" with a 30-inch inside leg, which some kind of average height really, but this would suit somebody shorter than me, or in fact taller, even taller riders. That, you know, you don't feel like you're squished too far forward. You can really sort of move around on the seat, move back a bit. There isn't too much weight on my hands. I don't feel like I'm like this over the tank. I'm very comfortable in this position. The windscreen also does a very good job of getting rid of the air over the top of my head there. It's not buffety in any way. It's very much very quiet actually. It does a very good job of getting rid of the air. Are there things that I don't like about the bike? Not particularly. I mean, you can kind of tell that it is more at the budget end, and I don't mean that in any way in a negative way, but it's not so refined as some of the other 125s that I've tried. But at the same time, if it was my money, then yes, I would probably, and certainly if I was 17 or, you know, a very much a new learner rider, this bike makes much more sense than many others on the market at the moment, including the more expensive, more premium brands. Well, this is a premium brand actually. I'm being unfair to it, but this is a really good choice, and it needs to be on your shortlist if this is your type of bike, your type of riding, and your learner. Then I would certainly consider this bike. £2,600 is an absolute bargain. You know, it really is, and. Don't listen to what other people say. It's one of my things that I would advise either about Keeways. I know somebody who's got a Benelli, met a girl a little while ago in the car park. She's got a Benelli. I know it's a different make, but it's the same style thing, same sort of setup. And she's done 13,000 miles on hers, and she hasn't had one problem with it. So Keeway are exactly the same. The people that I've known who have got Keeways, I know somebody with a super light actually, my friend's son. He's had zero issues with it, and he's riding it every day. So these Keeways are good bikes. There's no doubt about that. It also comes with 2 years warranty, so can't go wrong, can you? That's parts and labour. 2 years warranty with parts and labour. Very good indeed. Okay, so that's pretty much all there is to say about the bike for now. Let's get on and have another ride. Another thing that 125s are good for is teaching you how to get your speed up. You have to plan more with 125s. Whether you're going into corners or whether you're filtering, because you don't have that extra power, although this one is quite powerful for a 125. Even though you don't have that extra power, you have to plan more. It's not like you've got the power there to get you out of trouble. You have to really think ahead, and that can only be a good thing. So I guess if you're on the market for this RKR, you're going to be looking at other bikes such as the Benelli BN. I haven't tried that one yet. That's one I really want to try actually. Benelli BN 125. As I say, I met a girl a little while ago, and she's done 13,000 miles on there, and she absolutely raves about it. She absolutely loves that bike. So that's one I'd like to try. I've tried the CB 125R, which I'm hoping to do a review on soon, hopefully. That's definitely one I want to get on and have another go and let you guys know what it's like. What else are we up against here? There's a few around, isn't there? You've got the GSX 125, the MT Yamaha 125. They're all sort of more expensive bikes. Are they any better than this? Not particularly. I mean, they've got proven reliability, and to be fair, Keeway are very proven as well. As far as I'm concerned, they're great. It's just what other people say. You know, once you get past that sort of like, oh, you know, don't get a Keeway because of this, that, and the other. Most of them are basing it on absolutely nothing. It's what I've found now. Same as the Benelli's. I love that Benelli ride that I done on the 502. It was really, really good. But people are sort of scaremongering you all the time, and it is 99% of the time it's absolute codswallop. These Keeways, they're fine for what they are. They're very, very good for what they are. For 2,600 quid, they are very good for what they are, and 2 years warranty for peace of mind. You do need to look after any bike, and unfortunately with most 125s, people do tend to abuse them, to be frank. I mean, a lot of the time you do need to give the engine some stick on these bikes just to keep up with the traffic, but they handle it absolutely fine. But you know, people sort of do silly things with them, and frankly they don't look after them. Quite often you see them out in the rain and no cover on and things like that. You know, you need to look after any bike. And this one's no exception. If you look after it, it will look after you. Clutch is very, very... What's going on there? The clutch is very, very light as well. What's going on? It's one of those roundabouts, no one ever knows what's going on, even when you've been round it 100 times. Yeah, clutch is very light, suspension is great. The seat hasn't given me any bother at all. I would be expecting to have a bit of a numb bum by now, but it's not bad actually. It's quite a fun bike as well. Let's see what it's like from the old filtering. Make myself known. Got the gear indicator there, so I know I'm in the right gear. Car's behind me now, so that's okay. Anticipation, and let's move out into the other lane. Lifesaver check. It's all good. Kick down. Engine braking, I've got a bit there. Let's just give it a quick stab on the brakes. Yeah, ABS cut in then. It's not intrusive in any way, so that's a good thing. It's really enjoyable. I've enjoyed this run. I really have. It's always nice to get on a 125 again, because it just takes you back, to be honest with you, to what I used to ride, and they're just, like I say, you can see the scenery more, you can ride the bike, because you have to really work the gears to get it to go. And if you're a new rider, then this is going to be, you know, more than fast enough, you know, to learn your craft on, to get used to biking, to get used to how a bike works and reacts in different situations. It's really grown on me. Yeah, so thanks to Chris at CMS. A good shop there. They've got, if you've not been there before, go and have a look. They're in Pinho. They got a good clothing line, helmets, you know, all the accessories. A great bike collection, which you don't really, you know, sort of bikes that they sell, not your bog standard known bikes, and they're all good bikes. Really good stuff. Nice staff there as well, very helpful. So yeah, it's worth a look if you're in the area. So thanks to them for that. Also, thanks for watching the video from me. I absolutely appreciate you coming along and watching the video. If you could give it a good thumbs up, it's a little effort for you and makes a massive difference to me. So please, if you could do that, that would be very much appreciated. If you've got any questions on it, just drop them in the comments below. Also, if you're new to the channel, stick a subscribe, click the subscribe button and hit the bell, because I've got more 125 stuff coming up shortly, which will probably be of interest to you. And I can compare. I've got something to compare it with as well now, so that's good. Yeah, so like and subscribe, and thank you very much for CMS. I'll leave the spec and photos up with you now.
Through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red light. I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red. Conquer the night. If I can make it, if I try to draw the red light. I could run through the fire, I could conquer the night. If